I'll tell you this thing. The genes in your body right now have always played a certain role. And it's the role of taking responsibility for your outcome. Now, understand this. This gene may be a gene that's cancer, or it could be genes that's caused you whooping cough or whatever, you know. But understand this thing. These genes in your system are going to be locked into this little strand of DNA. Little DNA. That's such a cute little thing. A little DNA strand. And you've heard me talk about it many times, and you're still not getting it, I don't think. But understand this. The first foot of the DNA is what you think everything's based on. And this other 5 foot of this 6 foot strand of DNA is just junk. I doubt it. You know, you'd suggest this, that the Creator would just automatically have this extra 5 foot strand laying around if it decided to do something with it, right? That's right. That's right. And now what you've got to do is you've got to decide what you're going to do with it. Now, understand this thing. The genes that you're talking about. Everybody knows. Everybody should know. You're born into this life with one thought in mind. To learn as much as you can learn. You're talking mental. As much as you can learn. And use this thing called the emotional, the love, yes, the love, and the physical tied with the spiritual light. But understand this thing. This is the truth as far as I can tell you. Your genes, as you call them right now, they have studied enough to tell you that you've got almost every disease that you've ever thought of having is going to be right in your body right now. And you say, well, this is not what I wanted to hear, Master Kirael. I don't want to be here. And I got cancer in my body. Well, I didn't say you're going to use it. I'm telling you, you got it. 99% of your time you got cancer in this whole project. Now, 1% you don't have it. That means you probably died of another life in cancer. You wouldn't do it over here. But understand this thing. What I'm trying to say to you is that the genes are a byproduct of what you consider to be your thoughts. But I'm talking about thoughts, not of the local brain, but of the omni-consciousness. Now, there you go. So, how do you get to this omni-consciousness? Well, I tell you these things. First thing you got to do, you got to learn how to pray, and you got to pray quickly. Because praying is not a religious act. Prayer is basically, make a note of this one. Prayer is your awareness of all 4 bodies on one level. All 4 bodies on one level. That's prayer. Now, prayer is what you're going to do is you're going to tag words into it. You're going to draw in the emotion of it. And you're going to focus on the physical through the spiritual light. But understand, there's 4 levels, all on one level of consciousness. It's called cellular consciousness. Think about this. I'm going to talk a lot about this on this Saturday event. But understand this thing, lads and lasses. This thing you call a gene right now, it's not the boss. It is not the boss. You're in control of it every day. Now, understand this thing. If your blueprint, we've talked about them, right? Your blueprint is you're going to get out of this whole journey and you're going to die from your blueprint. That would be not making any sense at all. And that unless you've come to the point, you've come frustration. Your frustration is overwhelming in this life. And you can't figure anything in this life. Nothing works for you in any way, shape, or form. And the other things that you've got to deal with is your frustration. And beyond that, your outcomes. That's just helter-skelter into the winds. And understand this thing. If you've gotten to that point, if you've got to 25, 35, 50 years, and you've come to this level of saying, I can't take this any longer. My mind is going weird. Nothing working. And da-da-da-da. You know what you're doing? you're setting yourself up to get out of this journey right now. And if you can't get your way out of here, the body's got a gene in it someplace that'll help you out. You know? That's the truth. So that's the genes, what we're talking about. But it's going to be you giving up on it. Giving up on it. And be aware. If you give up on it, nobody's going to care but you. And you're going to die right here in that light. Because understand this thing. Your death is part of your life. Don't you ever forget it. But you should be knowing to Signature Cell Healing and the touch systems that we're using right now, you got to know you can change anything and everything. Because be aware of this, my friends. Your life depends on it. Thank you and good evening.